Alex Hormozi lied to you, and in this video I'm going to be breaking down a specific video that I've seen of Alex Hormozi. I've seen him talk about the same concept over and over and over, and I'm going to be breaking down this concept and why I think it's a lie. I don't think that you should be doing this one thing, and I think that this one thing is what kills most businesses, right? For most people, the first 3 to 5 years in business is just about staying in business. That's the only goal. And so this piece of advice is something that I really disagree on with Alex Hormozi. If you're wondering who I am and why you should trust this random ginger kid telling you about, how someone who made $250 million a year online, right? I've generated $10 million online. And yes, I know there's gonna be some dorks in the comments that are like, oh, Alex Hormozi has a $250 million portfolio value. I get that. But this is just one piece of advice. I agree with Alex on a lot of things. I've learned a lot of things from Alex Hormozi, and I love Alex Hormozi. At the end of the day, I think most people do, and I think most people can relate to his content. But this one thing, I just have to call it out because I see it how it is, because I'm actually in the trenches, at least in the online space. Now, I get that for everybody, this is not the case. Some people should stick to this golden rule that Alex Hormozi throws out there a lot, but in my opinion, it's not always worth it, right? So that's what I'm going to kind of be going over here. Let's dive into the first video.
I see way too many small business owners saying, hey, I've got 2 businesses, or I have 7 products, or I have 2 different avatars. No, focus on one specific type of customer. And if you just say yes to every—
All right, I do agree that you should try your best to focus on one specific type of customer, right? I agree with that. I think that you should try to focus on one specific group of people, but it doesn't have to be a niche per se. It's the people that you've actually found product market fit with. And a lot of people's mistakes here is they find problem solution fit. They say, oh, this type of person can benefit from this. And so the group of people that I'm going to pick is the people with this type of problem, right? So your problem might be, hey, this type of person is fat and they want to get fit. Well, that's not really a niche. That's not really like targeted down enough, right? Because weight loss, there's so many people that sell weight loss. It's still a commodity. It's still a commoditized service. So how do you take them from fat to fit? In addition to just finding problem solution fit, you need to find product market fit, meaning that your product is actually something that the market wants, right? The market needs to actually desire your thing more than just, hey, it solves their problem. They actually have to desire the vehicle that it's in and the price point that it's at. That's how you create product market fit. And so you need to create a group of people with a similar product market fit. So I don't completely disagree with this part, but I'm going to kind of get a little bit more into this video, and let's keep watching it.
yes to everyone with money, you're basically saying no to your business because you're never going to be able to focus and make something really good. You can't serve 6 customers and then—
All right, so here's part of the part that I strongly disagree with, right? He basically says that if you say no to money, you're just killing your business. I don't agree with. I think in most cases, at the start of your business, when you're first starting out, you should be saying yes to every dollar that comes in the door. And I don't mean every dollar. If there's clients that are a pain in the ass or that are keeping you from focusing, obviously don't do that. I'm talking in the make money online info space specifically. I think that you should be saying yes to a majority of different things. For example, when we first started out, there was a client that we didn't really think was gonna make that much money in the business world, right? He had around 500K followers when we started with him. When we finished off with him, I think he has like around 700, 800K followers on Instagram now. And we're going to do basically a growth partner deal. That means we're going to manage this sales team, do done for you business, build the offer, establish product market fit, build the infrastructures, and basically create a business behind him, right? And this client in particular, we made him a good bit of money up front, but we didn't make him enough money to where we necessarily put it on a case study, right? So most people don't even know that we've worked with this client, and I don't even want to say his name publicly. And there's a lot of clients that just don't like me to say their name because they don't like us to take advantage of their results, right? But the client in particular, he made a good bit of money, but not enough to put it in a case study, but I can still leverage his name, right? Now that he has 700,000 followers, I can go to other influencers and say, hey, I've worked with this dude that has 700,000 followers, and he trusted me with his entire business, and you should too. And that adds a lot of credibility. And so I think that you should be saying yes to as much as possible. Another example, my business partner found another business that we were gonna potentially work with, and that business basically just didn't have any money. So instead of selling them on a $10,000 consulting package, which is what our consulting used to cost back when we did that, we instead said, hey, we'll do it for $5,000 and we'll just do half the calls, right? And so instead of weekly calls, they got bi-weekly calls. What did that do? We still collected $5,000 from that company, even though they weren't able to afford the $10,000 package, and we were still able to get money out of them. What did that do? That allowed us to keep the lights on, right? Because at that time was a time when we weren't like super balling and we weren't just like printing cash, right? And so if you're not like absolutely just printing profit right now and you're not making, 50, 100K a month, you should be doing whatever it takes to keep the lights on, especially if you have extra time. And I'm gonna make another video, probably the next video I'll do on this channel, or maybe the one before this, called What to Do When You Don't Know What to Do, right? The biggest thing when you don't know what to do is you need to find tasks that are critical that need to get done, right? And I can explain that a lot more in depth. I know it sounds pretty surface level, but most people don't have that reframe in their head. And so if you're focused on, 100 different things, I get it. You can't always be focused on one client if you're focused on 100 different clients at once. But what you can do is if you have a ton of extra time at the start, continually gain those case studies, get as much results as possible. So let's keep watching.
If you just say yes to everyone with money, you're basically saying no to your business because you're never gonna be able to focus and make something really good. You can't serve 6 customers and then make a good product only doing $100,000 a month. It's too small volume. Like, you don't get enough reps. And so you need to do one very specific thing, which means you have to say no to people who aren't that type of person. You serve one problem.
I don't always think that you need to say no to everyone that isn't a good fit or isn't that type of person at the start. Yeah, if they're not a good fit for the product, okay, you can say no to them. But if you're niche down, just because you're niche down doesn't mean you shouldn't take clients from other niches if they come to you and they're actually wanting your service, because those are layup deals, right? If you can actually deliver that service systematically and not have a ton of time, this is what comes into leverage, right? If you don't have the leverage to be able to do that, of course you're not going to be able to do that. But if you do have the leverage to do that, take on as many clients as you want. Like for our business, most growth partners can take on 1, maybe 2 clients a month, and they can handle maybe 5 clients max. And that's like with a full team built out. And like my growth partner business can easily bring on 50 to 100 new clients a month if we really wanted to. Why? Because we've built systems behind it. We've built integrations that basically help us get from point A to point B through that client journey very, very streamlined. And so if your business doesn't have that, you're not gonna be able to actually push for more clients as effectively, right? So let's keep watching.
Which means you have one product for that specific avatar and you get better and better at templatizing it, making iterations on it.
I do not agree. This is the biggest part that I don't agree with, that you should only have one product. Okay, maybe at the start, at the very, very beginning, you should focus on one thing. But the problem with only having one service that you offer is that it becomes commoditized. I'm gonna tackle this point in 2 ways, right? One is if you are offering things as a bundled package to decommoditize yourself. And then 2, I'm gonna handle it in the way of you have multiple upsells to increase the lifetime value, right? So 1, if you're basically have a product and that product is first at the start, say it's video editing, right? That's where I started. I started as a video editor, I moved into a video editing agency, and I offered the one thing of video editing. What's the problem with video editing? Well, I'm from America. I'm not trying to work for $3 an hour. And there's people in the Philippines that would love to work, that are killer video editors that would work for $3 an hour, $3 to $6 an hour. I'm just not trying to do that, right? People are always gonna have an option to find a better option or a cheaper option, right? If you're a commodity, there's always someone that'll do it better, always someone that'll do it cheaper. And so when we're going into a new market from finding a niche, we look at the TAM. But when we're going into another market as far as the offer, the total addressable competition, the TAC, is the thing that we really need to look at, right? Because if there's a ton of competition, if you have a huge TAC, you're not gonna be able to compete. You're gonna be competing on price and you're gonna compete and run yourself into the dirt. You can compete on price all the way till the bottom. But if you're not actually actively looking to scale up, it's not gonna work, right? And then the second way that I can tackle this is, okay, if you can bundle multiple things in, that's how you decommoditize yourself, right? If you, instead of solving one problem of, hey, I'll edit your videos, people don't really need videos edited. What they need is money. So, hey, I'll build your YouTube channel up. I'll help you scale. I'll do the thumbnails, but I'll also build you funnels. I'll help you convert those funnels into appointments. And then I'll help you convert those appointments into cash, basically building out the sales team. I'll help you build the back-end systems to actually handle that delivery, right? You solve a much bigger gap and people are willing to pay a lot more for it, right? And so now you can bundle the services. So what happens when you bundle the services? Okay, now a lot of times people will say, okay, well, I'm just gonna sell this for 12 to 20K up front, right? You do all that stuff, you sell it 12 to 20K setup fee, boom, easy, right? Now that we have that 12 to 20K setup fee, now what? After 3 months, they leave. So what do? Basically increase the lifetime value by creating more products that are behind that bundle, right? So you have the bundle as your front end offer, whether that's doing a funnel or doing the YouTube, doing whatever, that's your bundle, right? Your bundle is your front end offer. On the back end, you need to have different upsells that build enterprise value, whether that be software, whether that be community, anything that builds MRR. Those are the things that you want to have on the back end of that offer, right? Because you want them to be consistently paying month after month after month after month, right? You don't want to do these one-time sales. I mean, I prefer a one-time deal up front over a retainer, but I have a time frame on that. It's a 3-month time frame. After that time frame, if they want the system, they still pay for their Go High Level. They still pay for their social climb. They still pay for all of our softwares that we have. We have numerous softwares behind the scenes to basically help us increase the enterprise value of our company, right? Most people don't think about that, but we have multiple softwares behind the scenes to increase the enterprise value, right? So that's the next point there. So let's keep watching.
Email convert, or you just know how to make cold calls convert, or you just know how to make TikTok ads convert, or you just know how to make YouTube videos that convert. Whatever your channel is, you just stick with that channel, because as soon as you're like, oh, I'm gonna do 2 different things, it's like, that's not the objective.
All right, here's the case in point, right? Instagram DMs are a case. When you're starting out, most people don't have a lot of money, and so they put that money into outbound. And the truth is, honestly, ads are cheaper than outbound. When it comes down to like the actual math, ads take a little bit more risk up front, yes, because you don't know if you're gonna get a return or not. You don't know how the ads are, but if you have the right systems in place, ads are easy. And if you can do ads the right way, ads are way cheaper than doing outbound, right? If you can mix organic content and ads, that's the best strategy for actually scaling a business and really building a huge business that's able to scale to the moon, right? So that should be your goal. Now, if you're sending out 80 to 100 Instagram DMs, I've seen it get action blocked on 10 Instagram DMs a day. If you're sending out Instagram DMs, what do you think is gonna happen? You cage yourself in. You get trapped in a cage of just sending Instagram DMs. You listen to Alex Hormozi's advice and you're like, hey, I'm just gonna go send 100 Instagram DMs a day and then I'm chilling. Then I can just sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of my day. That's not how it should be. Because I guarantee that my team that's sending 500 messages on Twitter, 100 messages on Instagram, we're doing cold calls, we're doing cold email, we're doing ads, we're doing content, we're doing 100 different things, right? Yes, the focus is split, but until you actually have your time filled, which most people don't truly have their time filled up enough, and if you're not tracking it, track it in your Google Calendar, you'll see how much time you actually have filled up. Most people don't actually have their time filled up, and so it's not splitting attention if you have more attention. If you're just putting your attention into TV, instead of watching the TV, you should just sit back, figure out how to do LinkedIn, figure out how to do Twitter, figure out how to do cold email, figure out how to do cold calls, master each skill. And if you're putting all your attention in Instagram and DMs and your Instagram account gets cooked, then what? You're done. Boom. Okay. Well, there goes your business, right? You need to chunk your methods, right? You need to get all over the board. You need to get on as many grids as possible. That should be your goal, right? So let's keep watching. All right, here's the second video that I wanted to react to here.
Focus on one thing in general rather than lots of different things that you're not sure about. Because if you're starting out, everything looks like an opportunity. But all of them won't work unless you pick one. So you have to say no to all the other mistresses. And then from there, 6 figures is sell something to someone. So it's one avatar, one product, one channel. Just pick one channel.
One product, one avatar, one channel. That's basically what I've gone over. But if you're just sticking to one channel, you're not gonna make it. If you have one avatar, that's cool, but don't cut off your extra cash. And with one product, you're not gonna be able to maximize the lifetime value or the lifetime gross profit of your company, right? And the person who can acquire the customer and spend the most to acquire the customer is the one that's gonna make the most money, right? Dan Kennedy said it. He said the person who has the highest ability to spend on CAC is the one that's gonna make the most money, right? That's just math. It's just how it works. Whoever can spend the most to get the client, it's gonna get better clients and B, get more clients. Math. It's how it works. And so if you're putting all of your attention into one prospect, into one avatar, into one product, it's not gonna work. If you have a product, put more products behind it. They don't have to be crazy. You can white label a software, white label one of my softwares. I have multiple that you can white label. You can do whatever you want. You could, put a retainer. That's a good idea. Add in a setup fee, add in a maintenance fee, add in a retainer. But you have to be optimizing the lifetime value. That's the number one thing that especially people in the growth partner game or in the info space do not optimize. They sell one high ticket program and then they just basically close the door and say bye and end the buying loop. No, you should always have your customers in a buying loop. Always.
One channel, one media source, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Consistently start going on that, whether that's cold outbound, whether that's content, whether it's running paid ads, and start reaching out to people there to start selling your stuff.
So why not do all of it? I can easily manage to put out 100 pieces of content a week, film paid ads and post the paid ads, do LinkedIn outbound, max out LinkedIn outbound, max out Twitter, max out Instagram, and do 100 other things on the delivery side. My job isn't even acquisition in my company, right? My business partner does the front end marketing and acquisition. I do the back end systems and the delivery, right? So what does that mean for you? That means that especially if you are the front end marketing guy, you should be doing all of it. There's no reason to not be doing all of it, right? And that is just my opinion on this, but let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I'm gonna leave another video up here. It's gonna be pretty saucy for you. I think you'd enjoy it. And if you have any other questions, just feel free to drop them in the comments. And then also, if you want a free strategy call, if you want me to analyze your business, tell you what you're doing wrong, and use my expertise that I've gained over 5 years after closing 10 million plus in revenue from online businesses and online products, typically in the info and marketing space, go ahead and click the button down below. But other than that, peace.